and welcome back. I suppose it's time for me to join the ranks of everyone else who's saying, I can't believe it's already July. I guess the year is just going to pick up from here. So after putting so much time into working on the June theme for fairies, I did feel a bit stumped going into July. And finally, I settled on some yellow echinacea. And one thing that I kind of had in mind for this was that I could do it very simply, very doodly, look kind of like a daisy, but also, daisies and echinacea look very similar. I've also been having a lot of echinacea, as you may be able to hear from my voice. I've been a bit ill this past month, and so I've been drinking a lot of echinacea tea and elderberry tea, though in this video I'm actually having my morning coffee. So yeah, as you're seeing now, I'm working on my cover page for the month, and I'll do a coloring technique inspired by, I believe it was Amanda Rach Lee did this in her a recent month where she slightly offset the colors. So I'll do that a little while later. So now I'm moving on to just this sort of monthly overview. I have my small calendar in the top left for my quick glance, and then a running log down the middle. I do enjoy having this down the middle instead of on the left because I feel like it gives me more room to write. I can have more lines more than one line per day if I need it. That said, I don't use this a lot. I guess it has to do with where I am in my life right now, but I'm not really needing a monthly as frequently. So we'll see. Maybe that will change in July. So once I get this written in, you'll see I flip to my habit trackers, and I am really amping these up this month. So I am, of course, keeping the tarot, condensing it a little. Instead of having my space to write the card name and then do the number, suit, and whether or not it's reversed, I'm removing that. So I have the number, the suit, and reversal. And then also have 3 spaces for mood. And then for the past 2 months, I've done a cutout so I could track my habit as I go. And that worked well for me in getting back into tracking my habits because I could cover up the week that had passed and not feel defeated if I'd already missed something. But for space purposes, I did go ahead and add that back in together. So this month I'll be tracking whether or not I read, face care, a green drink. Again, with being sick, I'm just going to try to focus on making sure I'm getting some vitamins and minerals that are important, so I'll be drinking greens in the morning, and then also a checkbox for exercise. And then, as before, I will be keeping a space for notes. Then at the very bottom there, you can see I have a place where I can total things up, like how many reversals, the most common suit card, the most common number, most common mood, number of days reading, that type thing. On the left side there, you saw me write in, that is going to be where I will track my word count for NaNoWriMo. This is a take off what I did back in November, and just kind of adding it all in my tracker. So here you are seeing me start what I'm calling my husbandry tracker. So this is inspired by Miss McKenna's life leverage, not average life. Miss McKenna's life leverage. But my husband and I are coming up on an anniversary of a pretty big year for us. So these are just, oh, sorry for the headshot there. Some trackers of things of, what am I doing to take care of our relationship? So from left to right, there are 3 sort of main sections. Well, I guess 4 main sections, but you'll see the kind of 3 headings there. The first is for quality time, and then I have a column for whether it's doing what he likes, what I like, something we both like, or other. The next is for touch, so hugging, kissing, hand holding, and snuggles. Just kind of boxes there for all of them. And then for words, thanks, praise, and comments about his appearance. And then I have a column to mark whether or not I give him a gift, whether we go on a date, and whether we have sex, and a little notes column. And I know this can seem a bit like, really, you're tracking that, but okay, we are coming up on our 7th anniversary, and I think it can be easy to just get used to living together and let things slide. So I'm tracking this to kind of keep myself accountable, to really look in and see what time am I committing? What am I doing? I say this matters to me, but are my actions showing that? So I'm excited to see how that spread works out. Next you see I'm working on my cleaning spread. This is the basic cleaning spread I've been doing for the past few months. I will probably be changing this up soon. I like the way the circle looks, but I've been finding myself wanting to know what time of the month I'm doing things. And so for the past, at least last month, I color coordinated the weeks so I could kind of see when I was doing things. But I do think that a different format spread might end up working better for that in the future. And I do regret writing in the titles before I marked them with my colors. I know that last month I put the marker in, but kind of forgot what labels were supposed to go there. So I thought this month, oh, I'm just going to write my labels in. And then afterwards realized, oh yeah, I did want to color those in some way. Also, I guess I should note, I am going back to my Inkjoy black gel pen for most of my writing here. You've also seen a Tombow Twintone in blue. I'm coloring in here with a Crayola Super Tip and then a Tombow in N65. Also in a few places I use a yellow Mildliner, and I think that may be it on the colors. I'm also using fountain pens in this video. And at last, the Morrigan gives up of crying from the floor and jumps up on the table to get my attention. She has desperately wanted me to play rope with her this morning. Has been crying, climbing my back while I'm sitting in the chair, doing all manner of things. And here she actually pushes the ink in my pen down, and you see me have to click it back up. So she will be very glad when this video is over, so that hopefully I will go play rope with her. For these two pages, the one on the left, I am including a gratitude tracker where I can write the numbers down and just write something I'm grateful for each day. And on the right is a spread I was going to call Everyday Magic, but you'll see later when I put in my header I got confused. But just to have a place to jot down the things I keep seeing that keep coming back up for me. This spread here is, I guess, a combo to buy wish list that I'm putting in a sticker. But it's just a place to keep track of things that I've been meaning to get, and whether it's a want or a need or a gift or something in between. And again, for this everyday magic spread, I find that sometimes there are words that repeat for me or types of things I see, and I wanted a place to track that all together so I could see how frequently it's happening. It's often something I would put on a daily spread, but something about seeing it together I think will be really helpful. So here I'm setting up my first weekly, and I have decided to change things up a bit. So I'm still have a place to write my meals. I have greatly reduced the size of my sort of days, and then have brought my task over into that weekly overview page. The headers you saw me right there in blue are with a fountain pen with a stub nib with Diamine Diamine Mediterranean ink. Okay, so this is actually in real time here and a very bad idea. I wanted to use this ink called Apache Sunset for my main color for this month, but I didn't realize I was out. So a bottle of it won't come in the mail until the first day of July, and I really wanted to get my header in. So I took my fountain pen and tried to use it like a dip pen to get the little bits out of my sample vial of Noodler's Apache Sunset ink. And as you'll see later on, that really led to some pretty awful bleed through. The ink is just gorgeous. It has good shades from red to yellow, which I think is just sort of perfect for July. But once again, using a fountain pen as a dip pen for this ink was a bad idea. And as you can see, rather slow as I've cut to real time here. So when we go back to the speed up, I go through and do that for several of my headings. They aren't as nice as I would have liked, and I do regret doing them now instead of waiting and adding them in later. I apologize if you can hear Morrigan in the background now. She is climbing my bulletin board. One moment. And now that the kitten is down, I will return to you. I am a little surprised at how light the shading got in this, and I will go back in a minute and actually outline it with a black pen. So I'm really curious once I put this ink in my fountain pen instead of dipping my fountain pen in it to see how that changes things. So as I mentioned, there is some pretty heavy bleed through with these, and I use two methods for covering it up. One page, I use some washi tape to cover the bleed through on my sort of to buy page, and then on my monthly overview I decided to patch it, and I went back and forth about that because it, I generally just leave mistakes, but I did decide that because the bleed through is so heavy on the monthly overview, it would really hinder my ability to use the page well. So actually this to buy spread is possibly one of the least me spreads in this month. I rarely use stickers and I rarely use washi, and I have both on that page, so we'll see how I end up liking it. The patch with my extra paper is pretty visible, so I mean, if I was trying to cover a mistake, you could definitely tell there's a mistake there, but it will allow me to use that side of the page for making notes. That's it for my July setup. Thank you so much for going through this monthly setup with me. I'm looking forward to seeing how these new trackers, this different layout, work out for me, especially since this will be my first month at some time where I will be tracking without using some sort of cutout element to see my tracker every day. So a blessed July to you, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Be well.